Well, country's largest car maker has a new flagship in the market. It's called the Invicto. And to talk to us more about the new MPV is C V Raman san, Chief Technology Officer at Maruti Suzuki. Raman san, I would begin by asking you, why did you decide to get into this segment with Invicto? You're already selling a lot of cars in a lot of segments. This particular segment, the rationale behind coming here.
See, wherever there is a volume, and we always said this, we will go. And whatever segments will growing, we have to be there. And so we do find today that we are in the 20 up to the 20 lakh segment. We have a sizable volume and kind of leading that. And we are seeing opportunity that the 20 to 30 lakh is also moving. So from that perspective, I think it was just the right timing that when the growth is happening, we should participate in that.
You know, you of course been doing this for a long time, making cars, selling them in huge numbers. With this particular segment, anything new that came into the picture that was a learning for you as well in terms of how to approach this particular segment?
Well, it's a premium luxury segment, and it's always we have to ensure that you have the right design for it. You have to have the right comfort and convenience features in it, the right technology into it, the right powertrain in the vehicle, safety features, and connected functionalities, infotainment systems, and so on and so forth, and overall comfort in terms of when the person is sitting, whether if he is having a chauffeur-driven car or self-driving. That comfort and convenience, all of that should be available in this kind of a category of vehicle. So that was the main ask, and and this vehicle today is able to answer those requirements.
But what do you think are some of the 2-3 key aspects of the consumer that he's looking for when he's spending 30 lakh rupees on a car? What is, according to you, most important for him?
See, today's customer is looking at tech and design in a big way.
Okay.
Connected is also one big, mind space feature which is there, and safety is important, and comfort and convenience when he is, because design is something which you see for the first time, it gets you the customer into the showroom, and he looks at it. Once he has bought it, he is living with it.
Right.
But what he is living inside, which is about 1/3 of his daytime. Today there is a study which says that 1/3 of the time you are spending at home, 1/3 you are in office, and maybe about 1/4 of the time you are actually commuting
on the road
today. So
that's a long time.
So that's a long time, and when you are living with that and you are living inside that, what all you can get in that space and are able to do is very important for a customer today. That's what I believe. So and that's what the customer also asks for today, and that's what Maruti Suzuki believes.
Okay, so because design is so important,
yeah.
When you try to sort of redesign a car, already existing selling car in the market, how far do you want to go? How far would you love to go and you're not able to go? I mean, is there a difference between the two?
Yes, definitely, because from when you are doing a badging, you can start with minimalists. So, and you have seen that between the way in which we have approached one product.
Some products, yeah.
So, where it is very minimal, it's only badge.
Yes.
But there are others where we've done some level of change, and then there is another level of change. And so, today what we are talking about is that it should look like a Maruti Suzuki vehicle. That was key point. How to make that look, and so that from a design perspective, from the front fascia and rear fascia, distinctively, there is no doubt about it that it looks like a Maruti Suzuki vehicle.
Absolutely.
So that is the first thing. So it should look like Maruti Suzuki. It should represent our brand. It does that. Now after that, what does it mean as far as the customer inside is concerned, and what does it perform, is the other part of it. So that is the also it in a way, I think I should not say in a way, but every way.
Every way. Yeah. And in terms of features, is it a similar challenge that you're facing? That how similar can it be, or when you decide to not put certain features or put certain features, how do you arrive at that decision?
It's a varianting strategy which we have, and what we should do and what we should represent. So suppose somebody says that I'm looking at and I look at my fleet.
Right.
and I am at the lowest CO2 in the market
Right.
today.
Huh.
So if I have to do that, what do I have to do? I have to make sure that I also get a product which is definitely going to be good in terms of CO2. So from that perspective, we've chosen a intelligent hybrid technology only,
Right.
and we have not gone anywhere here and there, because it gives that good fuel efficiency or CO2. It gives 23.24 kilometers per liter. And for this weight category, if I have to add it into my fleet, I have to make sure that it matches the numbers.
Okay.
And if I sell, I should meet my overall targets. So for me, carbon reduction and carbon neutrality, going towards in those steps, are also important.
You also spoke about connectivity briefly, and according to you, that is one of the highlights in this car, and particularly those 2-3 features that you've specifically put on this car. Can you tell us more about that, on how it will change the life or make it better for the user?
Sure. I mean, there are, in Suzuki Connect is integrated into
Yes.
this. So Suzuki Connect has over 50 plus features which are
Yes.
there. But what is the first for Maruti Suzuki in this is that the Alexa, voice enabled commands.
Right.
It is now 30 plus
Okay.
features which are there, which are voice assisted. You can actually do of opening the window, or putting the AC on, and some of those comfort and convenience features, immobilizing. Those are all things which today are able to do. And one first which we have added here is e-call and e-care.
Okay.
And in the event of a crash,
Okay.
you are able to get the necessary assistance from the ecosystem. Is one new thing which has now started with this vehicle as Maruti Suzuki. And definitely that's an ask, and when there is an accident, it's very important that in those precious 15 minutes, what is done
Okay.
is important.
The fast response.
How the fast responses. And so
Okay.
that is something which we have to work towards.
Okay.
We have to work, and we have to work with the ecosystem and all the other government and other agencies to ensure that we are able to do that.
The hybrid powertrain.
Yeah.
Does it matter to the consumer? I mean, is it really important for him, right? What's your experience based on the Grand Vitara? Are people buying it for that particular reason, or they're okay without it also because they have an option?
Two things which make a difference. One is that there are consumers today, young consumers, who have the ability to pay. They also looking at sustainability. And so that is a big mind share which is there, that okay, is it sustainable? So EV and hybrid has that representation in a way, and so therefore that meets that requirement. Second is, of course, at any point of time you are shelling out money on a daily basis. How that is going to help you is important, and the 23.24 kilometer per liter does in a way enable that to make the economics also work. Acquisition plus the running cost, the parity of the TCO, you are somehow able to manage that. So I think this is what traditionally any consumer will look at, and so the luxury consumer is I think no different. He would look at that. And I think one added thing is that when we are looking at electrification also, in the absence of infrastructure and anxiety, or for not able to charge at home or during the commute, this technology is something which is, I believe, a very important thing, and Maruti Suzuki and Suzuki believes that this is a very good technology of self-charging, where in the city condition you can actually run 30-40% of the time in the EV mode, which is a very good proposition from a sustainability perspective, and making a good environment impact, so to speak,
Right.
for the customer and for the environment. And so
Correct.
it's a good representation of the individual also, and today's individual customer wants to be seen in that light.
Right.
Yeah.
Just briefly, 2 more questions. Safety. How important is it for a consumer, especially when he's spending this kind of money on the car? Because a lot of people, even about the Invicto, want to know about the safety features. So if you could briefly touch on that, on how safe is this car according to you?
Definitely, I think safety is important, and the Nexa Shield today is offering that. We have 6 airbag as standard, we have all disc brake, we have the first electronic parking brake, safety plus convenience, it's very convenient. TPMS is there. Then you have 360-degree monitor for parking. These are some of the aspects which are liked by today's customer, that ease of and these are all safety related in a way. When you're parking, you want to be safe also, that you don't hit somebody, or you don't park too close, or You know, you don't dent your car. So those are also comfort features which I believe are important. But apart from that, of course, the 6 airbag being is a standard, and the 3-point seat belt being there, and I think the TPMS is being there. The connected features of eCall is there. So all of this make a package of a good
okay. But what's your take on ADAS? Why have you chosen to not put it on the car? And generally, you know, in the future, can we expect to see some ADAS features?
Yeah, definitely. I think there is no reason why Maruti Suzuki should not have ADAS, and Suzuki has the technology. I would like to say here that we have clearly levels of safe ADAS technology available in the Suzuki Fold, which are being currently evaluated for Indian conditions. And for the kind of segments which we represent and where we are.
Okay.
Also, it is important that what is the value perception which is there, or what we are giving to the customer.
Right.
And number 3, the functionality of that.
Okay.
Whether if you are giving a ADAS function, is it really going to be performing the way it should in the current you know, environment and ecosystem in which we are driving. Okay. So all this is under you know, evaluation and testing, validation. And definitely we have a roadmap.
So do we also need better infra for ADAS to work properly?
Definitely. There has to be good, you know, education, traffic, signs have to be right. You know, the ecosystem also has to develop in order to do. If I have to do a simple thing like a lane keep assist, I have to do. If I have a AEB, I should be able to do a overtaking maneuver and not get into a issue. You know, so I mean some of these things. I believe that jointly OEMs, and I have said this, you know, that OEMs, test agencies, government, component manufacturers, technology providers, all have to work together and make this as a thing which can actually enable to reduce fatalities, reduce road accidents, vulnerable road users being, you know, the fatalities to reduce, accidents to reduce. This is a technology which should enable that.
Right.
And today it's a feature.
It's a feature.
Yeah.
So is it fair for me to say that on the Invicto at least, more than keeping the costs in check, it's about we not being ready properly for ADAS? Can we say that?
I won't say that we not being ready. We are ready to give.
No, as in we as a country, as a whole.
But as a ecosystem, I think there's a lot of work more is to be done for it to be effective in its intent. Right. I would say as a technology.
Okay. Yeah. You've done a lot in the last 2 years. A lot of new cars from the Alto all the way to the Invicto now. You know, you've practically covered every segment. What's left now to do in the next few months, or maybe, you know, what do we expect next from Maruti Suzuki? Give us some hints.
We have a robust product plan. We have, you know, 17 brands which we have got. We have to continuously upgrade them. We have to ensure that we have the refreshments. We have you know, these refresh changes, full model changes. They have their own, you know, life cycle which is there. We have to bring in new technology work which is there. We have to work at the future regulatory you know, direction which are there. We have to work on EVs.
Right, yeah. You told us about your plans.
Has, you know, yesterday announced we will have 6 EVs. First EV will come by end of the year. Yeah. And that's a huge thing which we have to do. We have to
end of this year.
By end of next year.
End of next year.
We had said that
first
EV will come. So I think we have a lot of work to do, and so our hands are actually.
But are you done for this year? We still can expect something from Maruti around Diwali, the festive season.
I'm sorry, I'm not able to give any guidance on that at this point of time. But needless to say, we will be there to meet the Indian customer.
As always, lovely chatting with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.